Hello and welcome to the Armband. I'm your host Chris, and as always, Kieran is here with me too. How are you doing today, Keek?
Yeah, good but stressed with all these teams. I'm finding a team. I'm not finding anything I like at the moment. But yeah, all good.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Like we've been sending drafts to each other like all day today. Like, should we do a Salah draft? Are we doing a no Salah draft? And yeah, it's getting really tricky with just a couple days to go. So we're going to do that in this episode. We're going to take a look at both our drafts, which I feel like I don't know, fairly fixed, but discuss each position. I think fair to say there's some surprises given where we were last week. So we'll get on to that in a minute. But before we get into the show proper, two things to say very quickly. If you do enjoy the show, and it seems like a lot of you have been this preseason, so thank you for that. Please hit the like and subscribe. It's been great to see our likes and subscribes going up, so it'd be fantastic to have you with us this season as we try and get towards the top 10. And then just quickly on Patreon, it's new for this season. You can support us over there. The link is in the description. And it's on the screen quite a lot of times. There's lots of perks for members. If you want to find out more, then click down below. So I think that's probably enough preamble for 1 week. Should we just talk about some of the news? Because I feel like even today there's been Eze news about with Spurs. There's been Gahey, Grealish. Where do you want to start? Just a little recap.
Yeah, I should talk about Eze, I guess.
Yeah.
Eze beats Spurs. Yeah, it makes. I think it has a knock-on effect of affecting Palace.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's particularly going to be a great pick at Spurs. Maybe he will be. I don't know. Maybe because Madison's out, he will be replacing him. But at Palace, I feel like their creativity is going to go down quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say he wants Champions League football, which I guess that makes sense for him at his stage of his career. But Mateta sort of options for goals goes down. Like obviously penalty stock goes up, but it's him and Saar doing enough? Like, is there enough in that team to warrant ever picking Mateta at that point anymore? I don't really know, to be honest. So I feel like the options of like viable strikers is going down by the day. It feels like.
I agree. Yeah, I think it's a really unusual transfer that Spurs would be interested in. Like from what we hear today, or what Ornstein's reported, is that he wants to play Champions League football. I mean, Spurs haven't been like regulars in the Champions League, and they're only in it because they won the Europa League. Was it Europa League? It was Europa League.
Yes.
Last season. Yeah. So
I think they get dumped out of the top in the last 16, probably at least.
Yeah.
So,
and he's 27, so he's probably like his big move. He's in his prime. It just seems strange. I think he's got a good thing going at Palace, where he's almost like the talisman in that team. And you're right, the knock-on effect for Palace is they're probably less creative. Mateta obviously inherits pens. Yeah,
maybe he should have been a bit more ambitious at Spurs.
Yeah,
I feel like because he probably could have gone to. If Arsenal were interested, like could that?
He'd do such a good job on the left wing there. I feel like that he would be better than all their other options. So yeah, definitely that's interesting. And then the other news, which I think is perhaps even more prudent for FPL, is Steve Parrish, the Palace chairman, came out after the game and said, look, he's not going to sign a contract. We're probably going to need to sell him this summer. And now the reports today are that Liverpool, which has been discussed for ages, are in the driving seat to get him for less than 40 million. And that just seems like a hack of a 4.5 million who's probably going to be a starter in their defence this season at centre back alongside Van Dijk. He's going to
you think so, right? Yeah,
I can't imagine he's going to go and be benched, especially like if he's got guarantees about World Cup next year, and he has been England's starting centre back at the Euros. So
true.
I feel like that could be a bit of a, not a game breaker, but I think a lot of people.
Palace worse again.
Yeah, it makes Palace worse again for sure. Lacroix, Munoz maybe like stocks down on there, and then Liverpool. And I'd even say like you'd probably back Gahey at 4.5 million. You could probably take a chance that he does better than some of the Forest picks. So yeah, I think it does make it interesting for FPL.
Yeah, it's this is the problem with the transfer window still being open, is it makes like picks like Richards and things like that, who we think is going to be a really good option.
Yeah.
Decidedly worse if he goes, and it's just like they don't have another centre back, as far as I know, that's going to slot in there. So I mean, Richards was fringe in itself last kind of couple seasons, and he's obviously just made himself to be the top one of the top starters in the back three. And so I guess they'll have to buy someone.
Yeah.
But is he going to be as good quality as Gahey is? So I mean, they'll have to if they've got Europe. So, yeah, I guess we'll see. But there's certainly things to happen in the
Definitely.
window to come. Yeah.
And then I think the only other big one, or fairly big one to mention, because it's Man City, is Grealish obviously going to Everton at 6.5 million. And he's never been like he had like one season at Aston Villa where he was like kind of relevant as an FPL pick. I think he probably goes into that team a huge amount to approve before the World Cup next year.
Yeah, true.
He could easily be his best attacking player in that team, and if he can recapture anything like he's not been great in front of goal for City, but perhaps that's more to do with his role. He might be more important for goals and assists, and at 6.5 million, he might not be bad value this season.
Yeah, I've been kind of assured by Everton fans that Ndiaye will still play. He's not going to affect him as much or like he'll be nailed still. He'll either play the 10 or the left, and assumedly Grealish starts the right. So I think that's probably fine. Yeah, Grealish, I think he's not going to be a pick to start with because he's not really had much minutes in preseason. So I think you would probably wait on him if he's going to be a good pick. Is he going to get free kicks, maybe corners, stuff like that, possibly? Yeah, I think we have to wait to see on Grealish himself. But I think it doesn't affect like Dewsbury Hall and Ndiaye too much because I think Alcaraz or whatever he's called will probably be the one that drops out.
No, I think definitely another one to watch for sure. So, all right, let's jump on and have a look at our drafts. The main reason for catching up now. I'm gonna load up yours first, and let's just have a chat through where you are with, like I say, like 2 or 3 days to go now.
Yeah, as I said at the start, not really finding a draft I really like that much. I always feel like I'm missing something that I want. And yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards. Well, yeah, but I feel like the rest of the players probably can cover Salah a little bit. But then I'm finding the combinations of the players around that is found to be difficult for me. But yeah, the squad at the moment is Sanchez in goal. I got Porro in there as a 5.5. De Kuyper at 4.5. I got Frimpong in there, which is the first time for me. And yeah, he impressed me in the Community Shield, and there's something about having him bomb on a Friday night first game down that wing, possibly scoring and assisting like that is appealing for sure.
Definitely.
It's like,
especially if Bradley's a bit injured as well.
Yeah, Bradley's possibly out for a little bit, at least. I think possibly until the first international break. So I think he's going to be a good option. He's high in the sort of models at the moment as well as possibly a top scoring defender over the first like sort of 10-ish weeks. So right now he's in. May not end up staying like that. I mean, I wonder if he could cover someone like a Gapco if I wanted to go down to Liverpool, which may be an option because I feel like those first three are not that great apart from Bournemouth, I guess. So do I need 3 Liverpool? Not sure. Like obviously you'd want Salah, but if I'm going not with Salah, do I want 3 Liverpool? Is that too much? It's tough. So I've got Verts and Gapco in there at the moment, and Ndiaye as I'm talking about as well, and then Palmer in there, and then I've got Haaland up top, Fulkrug and Watkins as the strikers, and then the bench is Dubravka at the moment. Goodmanson is 4.0 starter left back at Leeds. Richards, who knows about him right now because of what's happened, as we talked about. Who it does have a good rotation with Porro as well, so that was something I was thinking about. And then King as the 4.5, possibly not going to start much, but hopefully he does. He may start the season at least, and we'll just go from there. But the thing I hadn't realised is there's no Forest defence in this, so which seems shocking. And defensive contributions in this squad? Like I've just completely foregone all of that right now. So it's probably going to need a rethink. I could go Porro down Van de Ven, get De Kuyper up to Williams, something like that, which would be fine, I suppose, and it would be an okay, or maybe even just like Milenkovic or something like that, or Tarkovsky, and Frimpong's the one that's kind of changing things in that defense anyway. But the starting 11 is nice. I like that. The bench has got minutes in them, which is fine. But it's just the combinations I'm struggling with, and so I guess do I just go back to the safe Salah pick? And but then I'm probably going to be having that Mark Gui or Gu on the bench, who's probably not going to play until a few weeks in, you'd imagine, because he's not match fit. And yeah, it's a bit of a struggle at the moment. So I'm sure that's not great what people are here, but
should we?
Yeah, maybe it's comforting to know that we're struggling as well.
Yeah. Are you? I mean, talking of like why Salah is off the menu a little bit. I saw you replying to someone on Raptors tweet, and he was giving you grief for it. But there is good reason to not go for Salah. Yeah. I think if you like all the things we've talking about on the previous shows, and obviously just like when we've been sharing our drafts, he's obviously the most expensive he's ever been by a lot. 2.5 million is a lot. There was definitely for whatever reason there was a downturn in form from game week 30/game week 31 last season, where he scored I think 2 goals in the final 8.
One of them was a penalty at least, I think.
Yeah, and then the other one I think was on the final day of the season. And then in pre-season he's only scored 1 goal from open play. When you compare him with someone like Wirtz, who's got I think 2 or 3 attacking returns, and on the game in the game at the weekend as well, I'd say Wirtz was taking up sort of the number 10 as well as the false 9 position when Ataki came off. So when you think he's 6 million cheaper than Salah,
Gakpo's got 4 goals, 1 assist in preseason as well. Exactly. So he's compared to Salah, a lot cheaper.
Yeah. So there's definitely merit in not going for Salah. Like when someone said, look at his whole points, I think that's fine. But it's almost like look at the recency of Salah, and now his price is effective now than it wasn't last season. So
so people talk about the Leeds and the Burnley defense was so good last season, but obviously they were in the Championship, but then there's new players come in, and Leeds have got better XG than Burnley did, but even though Burnley kept something like 20 odd clean sheets or whatever it was, it's just, and at the same time different players, it's just last season was last season. That's the point. There's 8 seasons or whatever of Salah doing amazing, historical data, but recently he's been pretty bad. So the same can go for Palmer. Why are we all picking Palmer again? But he's had a bit more form in the Club World Cup, and in the preseason he's looked good too. Whereas Salah hasn't, frankly, he hasn't.
No, so, I agree. I agree on Palmer as well. I feel like we're probably Palmer is a pick along with Salah for. Palmer is a pick for me definitely. That I look at his form, and Pedro has been playing. Pedro's got more goal involvements than Palmer has in the games they've played together. He's obviously cheaper. I think it's just with Palmer, it's the fear of missing out on that he can have these mega haul games. But then if you were probably going to have Salah and Palmer, you would probably more than likely captain Salah most of the time, because I don't think Palmer's been reliable enough for big hauls end of last season. So
almost 100%,
yeah,
definitely.
I think the only thing when I look at the team, I know Gakpo's in a lot of form. It's like it's like that position. It's like, can you get another or like a different team's talisman basically in there who might get more reliable minutes? But otherwise, I think Porro and Richards have a good rotation. Decopa looks really good from open play for Brighton. Frimpong's like a spicy pick that hardly anyone seems to go for. So been going for. So I think it's definitely a different team.
I've been looking at Cucurella instead of Frimpong, which I do really want, which means I don't want the double up in the defense, so I'd probably have to go Sales at that point, or a 4.5, but the 4.5s are just they're all, I have no idea who to pick of 4.5s. You probably have to go for Verbruggen, or you go because Kelleher we don't even know at the moment, and then you pick maybe a promoted team's 4.5, and it's not great. I'm trying to pick good minutes, but at the same time, Fulkrug, I think he should be fine unless he gets injured. And then there's Gakpo, should be fine until probably they buy someone, which they probably will. Isak hasn't been training at all. Apparently, he said he's never going to play for Newcastle again. So there's that thing. So apart from that, I think everyone's fine. Richards, Goodmanson, fine. Porro, everyone is fine, apart from maybe Gakpo and Fulkrug and Frimpong. I guess there's kind of risks there attached. So maybe I'll go a bit safer with I don't know. But at the same time, I might want someone like Reinders and just be that's fine
popular.
Too. So
I'm not into Reinders at all.
I think if you're picking a 5.5, and you're going to play him, or he can be a rotation piece. Like,
For rotation,
why not?
maybe.
Why not?
I suppose with Kovacic is meant to be out now, isn't he, for a little bit, and
Is he? Right,
Rodri's
okay.
out. Maybe
Yeah,
that makes
Rodri's
it.
not as well. Yeah, so he should play. He should play.
Foden's got
Yeah.
an ankle knock. That all these like injuries that they got like announced yesterday just makes me think it's another big Wolves, like a Wolves win, even though they've been
Not a
crap in
chance. I
pre-season.
think. City just get like 4-0 or something like that. I
Do
think
you
they
think
smashed
really?
Wolves. Yeah, I think
Alright.
Wolves have been really poor in preseason. Their
Yeah.
defense looks suspect for sure. Yeah.
All right. Should we leave it there on your draft? Is there any other
Yeah.
questions? I
Schedules.
think that's
Yeah.
all right. Okay. All right. So my theory again is a bit like yours. Well, what we discussed a minute ago is like, how can I better spend the Salah money? And what I've tried to do with it is just load it into the talisman in midfield. So from, like I mentioned a minute ago, from Salah's end of form last season, summer form, and Wirtz's price and his position in the team, I think there's surely good value in having him there.
Yeah.
And so not by having Salah, I feel like you can really just like pump money into that midfield. So I'll read it through. Actually, it makes sense. So Sanchez in goal, Van Dijk, Saliba, Murillo at the back, Palmer, Wirtz, Fernandes and Saka in the middle, Watkins, Strand Larson and João Pedro up top, and the bench is just as cheap as you can get really. Dubravka, Esteve, Rodon, which is I'm just thinking he's nailed for minutes, more than likely to get some few DEFCON points if need be, and King, because I quite like the 4.5 million mid who should get some minutes. So yeah, I've just gone really heavy in midfield. From what Fernandes showed us at the weekend in the game against Fiorentina, and what he's shown us in pre-season especially, is he picked up DEFCON in that game and got an assist. So more than likely in that 1-1, he was maybe looking at like a double figure return. I think he, of all the premium mids, has had the biggest bump because of DEFCON. He's going to be playing fewer times, like a week now, because of United out of the sort of any European competition. They should have a better attacking team. He is still on penalties. He was still on some corners, as we saw. He's lost some free kicks. But if he's playing deeper and then occasionally playing higher up, I feel like he's got the chance to get DEFCON in, let's say 1 in every 3. That just seems like a nice baseline for Bruno just before you add any attacking returns. And we know he's good on bonus because he creates so many key passes. So I think Bruno is really nice. And then Saka, because you've got the money, the fact that you can afford, like this draft before this was Salah and Anderson. Salah and Anderson are more expensive than Bruno and Saka as a pair. And I think when you can get like 2 talisman for their respective teams while still affording Wirtz, who looks like he could be a game breaker at that price, it looks really good. It looks really good. You've just got to have some balls to go without Salah, I think.
Yeah, I've looked at it too. I've been on the no Salah thing, and I've been looking at no Haaland too, and this is the sort of midfield I've been building as well. And yeah, Bruno is the one that I've been like struggling. Like, if I'm doing a Haaland like build, like can I get Bruno in there? And it's just been difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think he's worth it. And it's just like that first fixture, I'm just like looking at it and just like, oh god, like he's probably not going to do much. But then I need to get past that and look at like there's Burnley after that. There's good fixture. Then Saka has got Leeds at home in the second game week 2, which is probably standout captain of maybe anyone. Like probably better than Salah. Get away at Newcastle. I think it's away, isn't it? Yeah, it is away. And then so Saka, assumably he's still on pens, possibly. We don't know for sure, but I think that's still obviously
that's like a big factor we haven't spoken about.
Great option.
Yeah, well, that's a huge factor we haven't spoken about. Is Salah might actually lose penalties now. Like he missed 2.
Probably not,
probably
right?
Not. Surely. But McAllister's got a great record. Slobosly's got a great record.
McAllister missed his in the shootout as well.
That's true. But yeah, just on Bruno and Saka, that allows you obviously to keep Watkins. It also allows you to get João Pedro, who's got great fixtures with Chelsea. They're in good form. I know you weren't too hot on Wolves, but I think like Strand Larson seems like a great pick at that like 6.5 million price, like for a striker.
Yeah, I look at that forward line. I'm just like, Strand Larson, I'm not sure. And then João Pedro minutes maybe issues, but but at the same time he probably will start most of them, won't he? And I'm struggling with João Pedro because I was João Pedro believer last year, wasn't I?
I'm not. He's the one I'm least convinced about. Like I'd probably just as well have Mateta.
But then Mateta's probably got worse as of today if Eze leaves for sure as well. So, yeah.
And I think probably what the Salah team lacks a little bit is if you're going to have Salah in your team, you're probably only able to afford Palmer, Watkins, maybe Bruno at a push. I think you're probably more than likely going to stick it on Salah most of the weeks for captaincy. This is now, whereas I think if you have more of a spread, and I think you definitely found this at the start of last season when you didn't have Haaland, you hit some nice differential captaincies, and that gave you such like a good start. So if you look at, I'm just going with, let's say, captain Verts against Bournemouth because that's probably the best fixture. But you're right, Saka against Leeds in game week 2 at home, and then game week 3, Bruno has got Burnley at home after that, and then you're back on. Maybe Verts has got Burnley away, but I think there's just options by having those two in the team which really give a boost for captaincy. And I haven't really touched on the defence. We know I know Defcon is going to make some difference, and we saw the rounded up numbers last season, but the premium defenders still came out on top in that. So having Murillo, Saliba and Virgil, I appreciate Saliba and it might even be Gabriel if he's fit, but having those two at the back, whilst they might not get like great returns in the first 2 or 3 game weeks, I'm thinking like long term, if I can get to like game week 6 or even game week 8 or 12 this year without having to use my wild card, that might benefit me more, especially because we've got so many chips to play with. So. Yeah,
it's probably going to be quite boring if I end up on something like that as well. But I think I would probably pick spicier defenders. I'd probably go Frimpong. I'd probably go Cucurella and stuff like that. But I may end up on something pretty similar, to be honest. I think my forward line would possibly be different. But
it's just the FOMO of Salah, and it's right to have it because he can drop a double digit while Palmer or Bruno or Saka could have a poor game. It's why he is priced how he's priced.
You've not really done that sort of thing before, whereas I have done the scariness of not owning one of the top ones.
I know.
And it's not for the weak heart, but now we're going full-fledged.
Full send.
Having neither.
I know.
I
don't mind not having Haaland.
The captaincy is an issue. Like Bournemouth at home, it's like Salah is going to be scary as hell on that Friday. If he gets like 2 returns, and Verts or something blanks, or you captain Palmer and Palmer blanks, and bloody hell,
you're off to a terrible start.
Yeah, that's a 4 million plus rank already.
His ownership has dropped a lot since the Community Shield. He's down at I think he's down to 3rd most owned Salah now after being first before the weekend. Pedro and Palmer are both owned, so João Pedro scores as well. That's like a red arrow pretty much on game week 1 because he's
true. Yeah,
something to think about.
Yeah,
play the numbers game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's definitely some more tinkering to do. I think so.
I think the window over the next few days is going to be a lot as well, and there's things are going to happen over the next few days, like press conferences, etc. And
definitely. So any news on goalkeepers as well? Like if Dubravka is even going to be an option, if he's going to be starting. Obviously, some people want Green news. Yeah, there's a lot still to come, as well as all the transfers. So I'm sure the drafts are gonna change slightly before the deadline.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, should we end it there? We're gonna do one more video this week where we're gonna try and have nailed down our team selections ahead of game week 1. So look out for that on our channel. Make sure you're subscribed, and if you haven't already, please hit that like button. And we'll see you next time.
Yep. Chisel.
Bye.